Our sales team uses a bunch of Claude skills, but there's one main one that is infinitely more valuable than the others. If you want a first version of it, literally just hold this video up to Claude while you're pressing and holding the microphone, and it will start building you a first version. This skill starts from a call transcript, so once you have a call with a prospect, take the recording and plug it into this skill, and it's going to do 3 things for you. The first one is it's going to gate check your sales process and tell you exactly what you need to do to advance to the next stage. The second thing it's going to do is give you a very tactical call prep for your next conversation with that person. The third thing it's going to do is be a sales coach that is continuously learning. For the gate check piece, this is essentially making sure that you've done what you need to do to advance your deal to the next stage in your pipeline. If your sales process is something like discovery, quantify, pilot, close, this skill is going to give you things that you need to do before going, for example, from discovery to quantify. So if you just had an initial discovery call, it's going to talk through what you found out about that prospect that was good, and it's also going to tell you what you missed and still need to discover. This skill is then going to prioritize in terms of red, yellow, and green. The things that are labeled as red, you need to find out immediately. The things that are labeled as yellow are things that you're going to find out on your next conversation. And the things that are green are just additional things to consider or nice to haves. The last part of that gate check piece is going to be anything that was labeled red in terms of information I didn't get that I need right now. It's going to tee up a follow-up email for me that's going to get that information. Moving on to part 2, which is the call prep. Because this agent is going to know your sales process, all of the details of your first conversation, and what you did and didn't accomplish, it's going to give you a very tactical overview of what you need to accomplish in your next call. The first part of that agenda is going to be what was your prospect's stated goal or objective for the next conversation? Why are you guys meeting again? The second part is going to be exactly what you need to accomplish to move this deal to your next stage of your process. The third part is going to be a reminder of what went really well on your conversation, what messaging landed well, and you're either going to want to start with that or just a reminder to reiterate on it at some point during your call. And then the fourth thing is going to be the yellow details from above. What did you forget to ask about that you need to ask about now on this call? Lastly, moving on to part 3, this is going to be the sales coach. You're going to be using this skill a lot, and so you need it to be able to recognize patterns over time based off of all of your conversations and start coaching you on what you typically miss. This part's going to be by far the most brief when you talk to this skill and get answers back, but it's going to review what are your normal strengths, what are your normal weaknesses, evaluating the things that you need to work on in the grand scheme of things. So what was a one-off miss of things that you normally hit but this time you missed or forgot about, and then what are the things that you're consistently missing on and where you're building bad habits. So then over time, the more that you miss something or the more consistent a bad habit becomes, this coach is going to progressively harp on that thing more and more frequently. As a first step, if you do not have a tightly defined sales process that Claude is aware of, start there, have it ask you questions to define that process, and then move forward into building the skill. This is something you'll be able to build in 30 to 45 minutes, and it's a skill that you will not stop using.